Your life and the lives of others may be in grave danger due to lack of sleep. Today, I am here to talk about the negative effects of sleep deprivation and give some proven ways to deal with these habits or disorders. For starters, did you know that in recent history many major disasters have been caused by sleep deprivation alone? In 1979, a meltdown at the 3 Mile Island nuclear generator released large amounts of radiation into the atmosphere. Although no significant rise in cancer have been linked to this event, a recent study done by the Radiation and Public Health Project stated that the death rates of children, infants, and elderly skyrocketed in the first 2 years after this event. April 26, 1986, at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in the Ukraine. An explosion with a large fire released radioactive particles into the air. This area is still quarantined after 27 years due to the extreme levels of radiation that are still present in the area. A medical record analysis over 1986 to 2004 states that 985,000 deaths are a direct result of the radioactivity from this area. Alaska, 1989, an Exxon Valdez oil tanker headed for California hit a reef and spilled 260,000 to 750,000 barrels of crude oil. This resulted in a wildlife death toll of 250,000 seabirds, 2,800 sea otters, 12 river otters, 300 harbor seals, 247 bald eagles, and 22 orcas. It also resulted in an unknown number of death of salmon and herring, and the effects of the spill were also felt for many years to come. If you take a look at my PowerPoint slide 1, you can see some a diagram and some statistics on places that people fall asleep unintentionally. A large number of traffic accidents are also caused by people who are tired, drowsy, and in some cases even fall asleep at the wheel. According to a poll taken by the National Sleep Foundation in 2005, 103 million people admitted to falling asleep while driving. In that year alone, the National Highway Safety Traffic Administration, they estimate 100,000 crashes per year are a direct result of driver fatigue, which results in 1,550 deaths per year and 71,000 injuries. Speaking of deaths and injuries, I would now like to talk about sleep deprivation and the effects on our bodies and our bodies' systems. If you take a look at my PowerPoint on slide 2, you'll see a diagram that has the body systems and the effect that sleep deprivation has on that specific system. Sleep deprivation puts you at risk for heart disease, heart attack, heart failure, irregular heartbeat, stroke, and diabetes. It also slows your metabolism, so therefore it's a major contributing factor in obesity. And the British Journal of Cancer found that women who slept less than 6 hours per night were more likely to develop breast cancer. They also found that people who slept less than 6 hours per night were more likely to have colorectal polyps, which can lead to colon cancer. Sleep deprivation has many effects on the brain regarding memory, awareness, and response time. Speaking of the effects that sleep deprivation has on the brain, I would now like to talk about sleep deprivation's effects on our behavior and our relationships. There are many behaviors that are associated with sleep deprivation. They include irritability, paranoid thinking, hallucinations, expansiveness, grandiosity, emotional instability, impaired judgment, depression, stress, and many, many more. Sleep deprivation can negatively affect our relationships in many ways. Sleep deprivation makes us more selfish and think of ourselves before we think of our partners or our loved ones, which can really harm our relationships deeply. Sleep specialists have found that people who do not get enough sleep have less libido and sex drive, therefore that can harm our personal relationships greatly. And being irritable, angry, and having episodic rage can extremely hurt our relationships, because then we'll argue with people even though we're not angry at them, and that can hurt our relationships in several ways. Finally, after seeing all the negative things that are associated with sleep deprivation, I would like to give some ways to naturally rid of these habits and disorders and ways to treat them. They include keeping a regular sleep schedule. Make sure your bedroom is dark and cool. Turn off your TV. Sleep in complete darkness. Keep your temperature cool. Check your bedroom for electromagnetic pulses. Avoid loud alarm clocks. Establish a bedtime routine. Go to the bathroom right before you go to bed. Eat a high protein snack a few hours before bed. Also eat a small piece of fruit. Avoid bedtime snacks, particularly grains and sugars, since the carbs will keep you awake because take a hot bath or shower. Wear socks to bed. Wear an eye mask. Put your work away at least an hour before bed. No TV before bed. Listen to relaxation CDs. This might help in some way. Read spiritual or uplifting readings. Reduce or avoid as many drugs as possible, and this includes caffeine and alcohol. They will keep you awake. Make certain you exercise regularly. Lose excess weight, and avoid foods you may be sensitive to, because you may be up in the bathroom all night. And if you would like to see, on my PowerPoint on the third slide, I have a list of recommended sleeping times, and that's on the third slide of my PowerPoint. Finally, I have talked about major disasters caused by sleep deprivation, talked about how the effects of sleep deprivation on our bodies and our relationships and behaviors, and finally I gave some proven ways to rid these habits or disorders. I hoped you learned the seriousness of sleep deprivation and sleep disorders, and I hope you take my info in consideration and some of the remedies I mentioned to help you or a loved one with these habits. Thank you for listening, and you have a great day.